South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The exhibition season is over. It's time to play for real as the 2018 NFL season is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. It'll be Matt Ryan leading him under center, the 11th-year quarterback, four-time Pro Bowler, and the MVP of the league in 2016.
What a season Matt Ryan had in 2016 where he led the NFL in so many different categories as a quarterback. Numbers dropped in 2017, but the team still qualified for the playoffs, took down the higher-seeded Rams in L.A. before losing a tough one in Philadelphia to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Matt Ryan, he makes them go in Atlanta.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver. One of the strongest receivers in the league. Runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game. Really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
On 2nd down, Freeman. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage. I really liked what he did there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On the ball.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Flushed out right. And some room to roam now. And the ball is knocked out. And the Falcons grab it. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
After that play, I think we know one quarterback will be extremely happy if his defense can hold the opposing team to a field goal here.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first.
And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense heading out. You know, last year at this time, Charles, we said this was a franchise that's kind of been a neutral for a while. They're not neutral anymore. Defending Super Bowl champs. What do you think, favorites again?
I think so, because this team has few holes, if any. Look, your quarterback, Carson Wentz, gets hurt before the season's over. His backup, Nick Foles, wins Super Bowl MVP. Wentz probably would have won the regular season if he finished out the year. Offensive line, one of the best in the game. Passing game keeps getting better. Multiple runners who can run it and catch it. Flip it over to defense. Tremendous defensive front. They can just swarm and get after you. Great coordinator, very creative. The big thing for them, they'll have to take everyone's best shot week in and week out during the season.
Two-jet.
Wentz will try again on second down. Dancing to his left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Nigel Bradham brings him down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
He's got Sanu. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have.
And he's not able to get away. sacked back at the 22. Brandon Graham in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
Now Ryan. Got a man. It's the first NFL catch for Calvin Ridley. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Shows up how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one. And what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It's a safety run. Parker there to make the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And Jeffrey's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And once again, they go with Sproles. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at it. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
Let's go. Great. Two jet.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On second down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's Ryan to throw. Gets it off to Freeman. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a third down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Ryan, and he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receivers.
A special moment for Calvin Ridley, the first touchdown catch of his NFL career. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback.
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They go play action here on first down. Ertz has it left side. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just get back to score.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Deion Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Hey, we got 4. Hey, ram.
On play action, it's Wentz. Flush to his right. Going long here for Wallace. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, with us this year. Glad to have him, and we will look ahead to all the action coming up this weekend at intermission, as well as look back on this first half. Back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On 3rd down, Ryan. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
That has to be frustrating for defenders. 3rd down, they take a shot way downfield. There is good coverage, yet they still come down with the football and pick up a big gain.
Now Ryan on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes, and the Falcons will add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. One target, no catches.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now it's Ryan. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nigel Bradham. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. In there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. Set up with a grab over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
So we have reached halftime here. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. And we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This will be fielded at the 8. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. Space to maneuver at the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Lion, lion, lion.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. He's able to find Wallace. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Hang in there, go. Hey, ram. Rip. Undercrush.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. His throw incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Black. 5'9". Ram.
Throwing is Wentz. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, they're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Ryan. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Nigel Bradham in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A gain of 6 there on first. Play action. Now Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Vic Beasley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Vic Beasley in there again to drop him for the 2nd straight play, and it'll be 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. It's player spotlight time, and we focus at spotlight. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
And I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 36 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys...
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Falcons add on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Wentz. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Robert Alford. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first